Honor Club, where honor is real.
We are ready for second half action, and can you believe it? Unfortunately, I mean, it pains me to say this, Amazing Red having to undergo that knee surgery. He's out an indefinite amount of time. So Red and AJ Styles stripped of the ROH Tag Team titles. Glory by Honor 2, the very next ROH show, we're going to have a gauntlet series to determine the new champs. The Briscoes are in it. Gary Michael Capetta told me at intermission the Backseat Boys are in it. Special K will be in it. I'm really looking forward to this. The Carnage Crew will be in it too.
Gary Michael Capetta uncovering some major scoops right here as AJ and Red are no longer tag team champions. I can't believe it, man. We're going to have new tag team champions in 2 weeks in Philadelphia.
Well, what great champs they were. Of course, you see Mark Briscoe in the ring. Jay and Mark had that incredible series of matches against them. I mean, we saw it at Night of Champions, Epic Encounter, and Death Before Dishonor. Just great matches between those two teams. But now, I guess, AJ and Red, there's nothing ROH can do. Red is going to be out for a long time, and we hope that he gets well soon.
And did you see Joel Maximo and Jose? They came in at the end of that interview and kind of blaming maybe the Briscoes a little bit for working so heavily on Red's knee. And do you think they really blame the Briscoes for Red's knee injury?
I don't know. That's something to keep an eye on. But right now I'm keeping an eye on this match as we have BJ Whitmer in there with Mark Briscoe. BJ Whitmer, this guy is on a roll, getting into the Field of Honor after that incredible match against Matt Stryker at Bitter Friends, Stiffer Enemies. And BJ Whitmer right now just probably killing some time. Maybe this is almost even a tune-up match for him going into the Field of Honor as he will fight Jimmy Raven just 2 weeks at Glory by Honor 2. But Mark, wow, did he ever catch him with that leg lariat or what?
Well, Mark Briscoe making his return to singles action here, kind of on a losing streak of late, losing all those matches to Red and AJ, but I really wouldn't say that, like, that really harmed us. So those matches were just incredible. They were in the thick of things for the tag team titles right there. But, you know, the Briscoes off and on a lot of ROH shows. Hopefully they're making the return here to ROH, maybe getting the thick of things here. And a win for either one of these guys would be very important for them. I don't know if it would get them into the top 5, but it would get them pretty high up there.
Well,
but this could be almost a warm-up, though, for BJ.
The odds are definitely against Mark Briscoe. He would definitely have to beat the odds to defeat someone like BJ Whitmer, someone who is on a roll the way that BJ Whitmer is on, someone who is focused on the Field of Honor the way BJ Whitmer is, as BJ is looking at that Field of Honor as a thing to propel him into main event status as he hits Mark with that forearm. But right now, BJ Whitmer unleashing Mark Briscoe in this special attraction match. This second half of the show, a little bit of juggling going on. Chris Sabin will now be in the Four Corner Survival, as what's Mark doing? Oh, nicely done, cross body. Andy Jones with just a 2 count.
And Mark Briscoe following up, going for a nice suplex right there, going for a cover. Well, let's talk about BJ Whitmer. The series of matches he's had in his last 3 here in ROH in July and August. You know, he won 1, lost 1, and went to a draw in another, but just the competitiveness and the fire and the fighting spirit he had. This was a great summer for BJ Whitmer, and I definitely think he's one of the odds-on favorites for this Field of Honor.
No doubt about that. He will be in Block B of the Field of Honor. And you mentioned those 3 matches. The one was that Four Corner Survival at Death Before Dishonor, the show stealer, what I consider perhaps the greatest Four Corner Survival in ROH history. And then the loss was a highly competitive match against ROH World Champion Samoa Joe in a title match. No shame in losing that one.
And the draw, it was so impressive that the ROH officials still invited him into the Field of Honor even though he didn't win that match. So that must have showed something about his performance that night if he was granted an entry into the Field of Honor.
Samoa Joe, that Wrath of the Racket match against BJ Whitmer, definitely something to check out. What a hard-hitting match as Whitmer taking it to Mark Briscoe right now. As you mentioned, this is only Briscoe's 3rd single match in ROH covered by Whitmer. Nope. Mark Briscoe, last time we saw him in Boston was he was actually joining the Prophecy, and the time before that, he had that Match of the Year candidate against Jay Briscoe. Many consider it the best match that Boston area has ever seen from ROH. what a match that was. And the last singles match for Mark Briscoe was at the first anniversary show against his brother Jay. And now you mentioned, we haven't seen him that often in ROH. They were in the tag hunt, but they didn't quite get the titles. But I don't think they were fully committed to their wrestling careers at that time. And as you just saw from Gary Michael Capetta at intermission, the Briscoes are now fully committed to wrestling in Ring of Honor and making it their full-time job.
And what's even more impressive about that is the homework you've done. Boy, that's a lot of knowledge to cram into your mind right there. It's pretty impressive. It took me a while to figure out all that stuff.
Well, that's because I'm that darn good. And I'm also good enough to realize that B.J. Whitmer is now working on the back of Mark Briscoe. He's taking him again, rams him right into that. Mark Briscoe, the odds are definitely against him in this one. Whitmer just getting into better shape for that Jimmy Rave match in 2 weeks. And then he will be facing Colt Cabana in the Field of Honor match on 10/16. And, did you see that rib first?
And Whitmer viciously drops Mark Briscoe over those rails, and those rails are unforgiving steel. That's got to take a lot out of the younger competitor, Mark Briscoe.
B.J. Whitmer better not be taking Mark Briscoe lightly, as he has the advantage right now. But Mark Briscoe is such a potent offense. Of course, he will go for that cutthroat driver. Devastating move. Oh, and look at that. Rib first again. It looks like B.J. Whitmer is now centering his attack on the ribs and stomach area of Mark Briscoe.
And B.J. Whitmer methodically breaking down Mark Briscoe right here in the middle of the ring. And what's he going for here? Going for an abdominal stretch. That's the area he's been working on.
That'll stretch the rib cage muscles, make it difficult to breathe, cause pain all over your torso. B.J. Whitmer now doing that to Mark Briscoe, and you see the pain on the 18-year-old Briscoe's face. As he might want to, nope, he gets out of the hold, hip tosses Whitmer over, hits the rope, still clutching the ribs, but misses the elbow.
Mark favoring those ribs as Whitmer went for that abdominal stretch. A move that might not gain you a victory, but it'll definitely break you down.
And you notice Whitmer going right back to the ribs with those knees, slowing down Mark Briscoe again. The knee is such a dangerous part of the body to have injured, because anybody who's had broken ribs knows that it hurts every time you breathe, every time you laugh, every time you sigh. Every breath that goes in and out of your body causes pain. And if you're in the confines of a wrestling match and you can't breathe, it's only a matter of time before you get pinned or you submit or you just pass out. As there you see Whitmer stretching those ribs one more time. Andy Jones right on top of it, seeing if Briscoe wants to give up. Briscoe so competitive in those tag matches, but wasn't committed to ROH, wasn't committed to wrestling. Wanted to tinker around, maybe play college football. Wanted to take his life in this direction or that direction. But now both Jay and Mark have decided that wrestling will be their careers, and they are going to work their way through college in a wrestling career. Look at that, hip tossed over the top rope goes Mark Briscoe.
And Mark Briscoe in a precarious position on the floor. And Whitmer calling for the crowd to rise to his feet. What's he going for, Chris?
The big man could be going airborne. No, Mark cuts him off. Desperation move by Mark Briscoe, and that might have saved the match for him. Briscoe now pulling Whitmer out. Is this a wise move by Mark Briscoe? He better connect. Oh, and he does with a vertical suplex on the floor. That is a hard floor to land on. No giving it whatsoever.
Mark Briscoe returning the favor to B.J. Whitmer right there as he violently suplexed him on the floor. And Mark Briscoe going up to the top rope. What's he going for?
Shooting star press!
Nicely executed there by Mark Briscoe. Where did he pull that one out of? And the fans here in Wakefield appreciating the high-risk maneuver there by Mark Briscoe.
Well, the Briscoe brothers were immediate favorites in the Boston area. Oh, hard into the guardrail goes B.J. Whitmer. But they won over the Boston area crowd on the very first ROH show here. Honor Invades Boston with that incredible match of the year against each other. A vicious side Mark showed now one, and he's showing it one more time, slamming Whitmer into the guardrail again.
And B.J. Whitmer just lit a fire under Mark Briscoe's you-know-what, as Mark Briscoe has taken it to B.J. Whitmer right here on the floor.
I tell you what, oh, hard into the guardrail again, into that steel, as B.J. Whitmer in trouble from the younger Mark Briscoe. And I'll tell you what, Briscoe, when it's time to get mean, when it's time to get nasty, he proved it against when he went after Amazing Red's knee at Death Before Dishonor. He proved in his feud against Jay Briscoe he can do it, and he's doing it right here against the favorite B.J. Whitmer.
And Mark going for a springboard drop kick, beautifully executed right there. And Whitmer's in a lot of trouble. Maybe Mark should go for the cover.
And he does. He's listening to you. Andy Jones with just a 2 count. It's going to take more than that to defeat B.J. Whitmer, a man who's really risen to the top of ROH. Needs to win the Field of Honor to become a main eventer, though. As now,
there we go.
It's that cutthroat driver. He's got him up. No, Whitmer down on his leg. He lands on his feet. Now Whitmer back elbows. Comes in again. Uranagi.
And he just dropped Whitmer down. Go for the cover. But if he would have hit that cutthroat driver, that would have been it, Chris. And now dragging him, wisely dragging him into the center of the ring so he couldn't reach the ropes, but still Whitmer kicks out. Nice heart by B.J. Whitmer.
B.J. Whitmer, he's like a horse. He can take any amount of abuse and keep coming back. He can take any workload and keep fighting back. And he's showing that right here against the tough Mark Briscoe. Briscoe learning one lesson after another at such a young age to be this good. I mean, this guy is definitely going to be a champion one day. No doubt about that. Can he beat the odds and realize it right here tonight in Boston and score a huge victory over B.J. Whitmer?
And Briscoe with a hard-hitting lariat followed by a chop. He's got Whitmer in a whole hell of a lot of trouble right here. But no, BJ dumps him over, but a block. And Mark once again going to the top rope.
Did you see him grab the ribs on his way up? That slowed him down a little bit, allowing BJ the time to recuperate, hit that forearm, and now hit that big superplex with both men on the top rope.
And this could be it. What a high-impact maneuver. Still not enough.
What a hard-hitting, high-impact match we're witnessing right here. Both men putting it all on the line in Boston. Did you hear those kicks connect to the back?
I heard them.
But look at that roll-up. Briscoe saving himself with that pinning combination, almost getting a victory. All it takes is 3 seconds. I've said it one time, again and again, but it's so true. But look at Whitmer right back to the ribs. Whitmer trying for a dragon suplex. Briscoe gets out of it. Whitmer again gets the dragon this time.
And he held on, almost had the pin there, but still not enough.
Mark Briscoe showing he can take a lot of punishment. We did see that in those great tag matches against AJ and Red, proving it one more time right here against BJ. And now Mark's got him, dumps him on his head.
And that could be the move Mark was looking for, as Whitmer almost looks like he's out.
Turns him over, cover.
Still not enough. My goodness, Chris, where is BJ Whitmer getting it? You're right, he is a horse.
B.J. Whitmer, it's going to take a lot to put him down. It took a lot from Samoa Joe to put him down, and I still think B.J. could defeat Samoa Joe one day, but that's another topic for another time, as right now B.J. Whitmer has to be concerned with Mark Briscoe as he ascends to the top rope. Beautiful moonsault. Whitmer moves, but Mark with the presence of mind to land on his feet. Mark now rolls under. Exploder by Whitmer. Cover.
No, only a 2 count.
Where are these guys getting it from? How many high-impact moves can they survive? This is taking me back to some of Mark's best matches, to some of BJ's most brutal matches, as there's a whip in. Oh, Whitmer misses the knee. Mark now unleashing those kicks and a forearm. Whitmer's dazed. Whitmer planted on the top rope. Either man could be one high-impact move away from winning this match, and Mark's going for it right now.
And BJ fighting for his life there as he just dumps Mark off the top rope. Whitmer still perched up top.
Mark signaling one more time, but he is a little slow on this one. Dazed from the roughness of this match. There's Whitmer pushing him off one more time.
And Whitmer still up top. What's he going for, Chris?
I'm not sure if he knows. Whitmer losing his balance a little. Mark catching him with that Uranagi off the top. And there's a cover.
And that's it!
What an upset! What an upset! Mark Briscoe has beaten the odds in the